Alright, welcome back to the Roadside Rescue YouTube channel. I'm Ernest, and this might be fun for you, but this is not going to be fun for me. I've got to do a fuel pump. One of these tanks is clean, one's dirty, I can't remember, and they're both full, so I might just get a new tank and take it with me. Here's the fuel pump. What's up, you ask? Not only is this warranty, so I gotta do it. I can't just give them like a ridiculous price that motivates me to go do it. And I say motivates because it's well over an hour away up into the mountains. They were like at a scout camp or something, and I replaced their fuel pump like a year ago. And I'm just out having fun with my buddies on the weekend, and I get a text, yo, the fuel pump you put in died. I'm up in the mountains camping. And I was like, dang. Luckily they didn't need it that day. They weren't even free for like 4 or 5 days, so I've kind of just been waiting to go back up there with them because they want to drive it out. So they're gonna ride up with me, and I'm gonna check and make sure this has a strainer on it, so I don't want to get up there and not have a strainer. And then I thought maybe it's the relay as well, so I went ahead and got both. And I already had the fuel pump. It's something that I actually had to order out of DC. That was one of the reasons it would have been complicated if we had to go to the same day. So I got over to AutoZone as soon as they were open. I had to wait on them to unlock the door. And I went ahead and grabbed those relays. On the way back though, I was thinking I should have grabbed those jerry cans. So I went ahead and got both possible relays. It could be, I don't know which one's in the vehicle. There's 2 options, so not taking a chance on that. I'm not gonna take a chance on putting bad gas in my truck and blowing my fuel pump on the way up. I've got to get everything loaded up. Alright, I don't know why Bosch is telling me right here I don't have a filter screen. It's sold separately. The filter's internal on this thing, so I don't have to take one of those with me. There's no option for that. Okay, I think I'm about ready to go. I'm not taking any chances. I'm bringing pretty much everything with me. See if it's not in the national forest, I'll take some drone shots. If not, I'll just take some driving shots. Yeah, that's everything except for a jerry can. Pick one of those up on the way out. And if I would have thought about it last night or yesterday, I didn't have enough time. I got done working at like 11:30, 11 last night, but I could have just run those through some filters and used it, but no big deal. I was gonna put some gas in my truck because I think I will run out before I make it back. But if I'm just gonna have one jerry can, then I'll probably just put 5 or 10 gallons in here, depending on how much is in their tank, and just leave them 5 or 10 so I can actually deal with it. All right, head out in about 30 minutes, waiting on them to get here. All right, so I just made sure my truck was topped off on fluids. It's got plenty of oil and coolant. Let's hit the road. All right, so we hit the road. This video is sponsored by GKU DASHCAM. More on that in a little bit. It took us a while to get up into the mountains, and once we got up into the mountains, we had quite a bit more ways to go. I was super anxious getting there, just worried that my truck would get there. My biggest worry was the truck overheating, but by the end of the video, I noticed a problem with my truck, and it turns out that the transmission ended up having a major problem. I figured out a couple days later, so it's still running, but in bad shape, and here we are heading up into the mountains. Of course, I was worried if I even brought the right part, if the new part I brought would even work. Maybe it wasn't even the fuel pump after all, maybe it was something else. Maybe I forgot a tool I would need to replace the fuel pump. It had been a while since I'd done it, and I didn't watch a refresher video or anything. And yeah, my truck got hot on the way up there, but by the time we got back to camp, it cooled down just enough where I wasn't worried about it. Well, there was still lots of people moving around. I wasn't sure if we were going to be up here by ourselves. Lots of people offered help, but there wasn't much they could do, so I just pulled up next to this truck here. And yeah, my transmission started sounding bad right about this point. I noticed it on the way out, and it's not going to recover. And this video is made possible by a sponsor. Guys, I'm making more money fixing cars right now, so I'm just trying to make as many videos as I can, and these sponsors are making it possible. Like I mentioned, this video is sponsored by GKU. I've got the GKU D600 right here. We're gonna go ahead and install it on this nice truck. This dash cam's super nice. It records in 4K and it has a 170-degree angle view. That's super wide. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and install this using the static film, and then I'm gonna run this wire all the way to the back. we'll set up this rear-facing cam. It came with all the tools and wires needed to install, and it also comes with a 64GB SD card. Yeah, this thing was super easy to install. I had it done in easily less than half an hour. So all you have to do is tuck that wire up underneath the trim. And again, it comes with a trim tool and a way long enough wire to get that done. We're going to use a different power cord option and we'll tuck that wire later. Let's check out how the camera works. The app works great. You can even record video in the app. That was easy to connect. Here's some of the footage. Like I mentioned, this shoots 4K quality. This is super high quality dash cam. And this is honestly one of the best deals for a dash cam I've had. If you're interested in one of these, make sure you check out the link in the description and the pinned comment for an extra special deal. Not joking, you really need one of these in your car, and this is one of the best options. It works great out the front, back, even at dusk time. Let's get back to the video. Again, I really couldn't complain about getting there. The drive was beautiful. Just look at this drone shot. And really the only thing that went wrong was the transmission, but that's been sounding bad. Ever since I got it years ago, the synchros have been messed up. So I've just been trying to drive it soft. Okay, here we go. That was a fun drive. The last little downhill section cooled it down enough to not boil, because usually when it gets to the L, which was at the L driving up this mountain, I can hear it boiling when I park. So we cooled it down enough. I'm happy about that. Oh, we don't need these relays. They've already swapped relays just to double check. I didn't think about asking them that, but they know what they're doing a little bit with vehicles. So definitely sounds like the fuel pump, because it would kind of start a little and then not. And we're here. All right. Let's see. Here we go. Fuel pump. Everything I might need. I might not be able to jack it up much here, so I'm gonna be crawling under there in that tight space just enough. I think I might have done it last time without jacking it up though. It's just gonna be fun trying to get the tank out. With that much space, it might be too short. All right, here's the setup after just a few minutes of setting up. I don't really ever film the setting up because I just try and think of every tool I'm gonna need, so I take some time to meditate about the job. And here we are, I've got some blankets down, and let's go ahead and disconnect the fuel lines on the front. There's 2 on the front, 3 on the back, the fill neck, and we've just got to make sure everything gets lined up. Sometimes these little easy fuel disconnects, these plastic on plastic connectors, can be really hard to disconnect, but I did replace this fuel pump not too long ago, and this is just going to be a warranty, so thanks a lot for that, AutoZone and Bosch. We'll be getting this done. Let's go ahead and pull this out real quick. It was easy to get those straps off and lower it down. I'm just going to make sure everything's disconnected before we pull it out. There's some breather tubes on the top that like to get bent, so just being careful with those. At this point, I'm feeling a lot better about the job. This tank's coming out. I was worried that I had remembered one fuel pump I did like this last year. The bolt going back in was cross-threaded, and I was worried that it might have been this one. So that came out nice and easy. It wasn't cross-threaded or anything like that. It's going to go back together nice and easy. And after we've got this tank, like I said, most of the way out, I'm just reaching up on top, disconnecting the fuel pump, making sure everything's good before we yank this out, because the last thing you want to do up here is break one of these fuel hoses. That would be a disaster.
Then I guess bring that back down at the same time. Back up a little. Let's make sure we're not caught on anything right there. Alright, that's good. Make sure those hoses clear and then we'll pull it out. Oh, electrical connector and then we'll pull it out.
And here's a little time lapse of dropping that tank out. It was super hot and it was hard to get a good angle on the GoPro, especially being underneath this truck, but you can see my buddy whose truck it is, he came with me to help, and with 4 sets of hands it was a lot easier and a lot quicker. We got this thing out no problem.
Alright folks, there it is. Pump's out, it's cleared. We don't have to jack this up. I'm tired. Probably 45 minutes.
Oh. Well, I was expecting it to be a little dusty, but not that dusty. I only replaced this thing a few months ago. It was this year at least, so we pumped a lot of that gas out because that just makes it so much easier getting back in there. These things are heavy, and on this particular tank, you have to make sure that those lines running around the side get put into place just perfectly, or else you'll pinch them on the frame rail, so you really have to take a lot of the weight out of this tank in particular. All right. So now we've got the straps back on the tank. That's what I was talking about, making sure those lines in the back here aren't getting pinched or anything like that. And those feel like they're in good place, so we're gonna go ahead and tighten everything back down and clean it up. It took probably a little bit, around 2 hours. I'm just relieved to get this done, and still not even sure if it's gonna start, because why would it?
Yeah, let's see if it starts.
Pump, so we've still got to double check that.
Maybe prime the pump once or twice, just put it in the on position, but don't crank it. Yes, I'm so happy. Man, that was fun.
Yeah, relieved is the best way to describe it. Just relieved. I didn't want to have to do this job again. I'm bummed that this fuel pump failed, and spoiler alert, it's taken a couple weeks to edit this video, and this pump failed too. So you're gonna see another video of me replacing this pump, but at least we got it out of the mountains. And yeah, I don't know if riding my transmission down the hill is what made it get even worse. Like I said, the signals were always bad, and filming up here in the mountains was fun. It was hot, I'm tired. Let's get back to home.
All right, I just got done fixing that fuel pump. I'm super relieved to have it done and that it was running. I didn't check for voltage or anything. I just went in there and replaced it. So let's get out of here. If you like this video, make sure you're subscribed. Leave me a comment down below. If you want to help me take my wife to dinner, you can donate. The links in the description, and I'll see you on the next episode up here. See ya. I think I might have broken some suspension going up that mountain. It feels really swayy. It's just kind of swaying all over the place on the way home. It was kind of bumpy, and I thought maybe it was a section of the road, but I'm wondering if I didn't break a sway bar link or something. We'll find out.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that was just the extra vibration in the transmission. If you want to help out with that too, don't forget to donate. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you on the next episode. The drive back was nice. The truck lasted another week or two, but it definitely blew up, so keep an eye out for that video.